Hi folks, how you doing? So I woke up this morning to some sad news. The Darwin Oak in Shrewsbury is planned to be felled. On the 31st of October at a planning meeting, 6 Conservative councillors voted 6-5 in favour of felling, I believe, 10 trees, one of which, all ancient or vintage trees, one of which is the 550-year-old Darwin Oak. This is an oak tree that stood in the grounds of Charles Darwin's father's property, and it's well believed that Charles Darwin could have played or would have played under this tree. This is a 550-year-old ancient tree. Now, needless to say, locals and environmentalists are absolutely up in arms over this, but the 6 Conservative councillors still voted to have the trees felled, including the Darwin Oak. Now, if you know about Shrewsbury, Charles Darwin is the prodigal son of Shrewsbury, and the fact that these Conservative councillors are willing to fell an oak that is named after him, I think it's a travesty. Well, the optics, at least from a political point of view, aren't very good, are they? But what's concerning me is other things that are around this planned relief road. Even if you took the trees out of the equation, even if you were one of the people in the world that says, oh well, trees don't matter, there's actually concern from the environmental agency that this relief road could pollute or poison the borehole where Shrewsbury gets its fresh drinking water from. So not only are the councillors happy for ancient oaks, the Darwin Oak, a 550-year-old tree, plus other trees to be felled, they don't seem too concerned either that the fact that they might pollute the drinking water for their entire town. That's quite strange. What's even more strange is the local Conservative MP, Daniel Kaczynski, come out and said, we need to build for the future. We need to start thinking like Victorians. Now, I presume by thinking by Victorians, he's on about polluting water, chopping down all the trees, suppressing women's rights, and probably putting children back up chimneys again. Because they're all things the Victorians did, aren't they, Daniel? Now, I'm really concerned at the moment with the state this country's in. I've said to a few people in the past that I used to vote Conservative. I'm probably centre-right in my political thinking. But I've always been an environmentalist. And I had wrongly assumed that Conservatives cared for the countryside and the environment. But of late, we seem to have complete and utter countryside and environmental destruction from the Conservative Party. We had the situation in February in Plymouth, where the Conservative Council there voted, I believe, to chop down a load of trees and did it in the dead of night. We have the situation with new oil and gas popping up all over the place. And now the town of Shrewsbury, birthplace of Charles Darwin, the Conservatives have voted to chop down the 550-year-old Darwin Oak and potentially pollute the town's drinking water. It's 2023, and I can't believe I've just said that. But let's say it again. It's 2023, and a Conservative council in Shrewsbury, birthplace of Charles Darwin, have decided that they will cut down a 550-year-old oak known as the Darwin Oak, and they will also risk polluting the town's drinking water to build a relief road. And the local MP says, we need to start thinking like Victorians. We all know what happened in the Victoria era. We all know how badly polluted the rivers were then. We all know how much forest and land was ripped up for coal mining and for lumber. And we know how people were treated in the Victorian era. So I presume Daniel would like to see the return of workhouses. I imagine he would like to see people like me and other environmentalists locked up in said workhouses so we can't speak truth to power. So, over the next few weeks, I'm going to put together several videos regarding this because I'm mortified, actually. Although I live in Telford, which is the next town over, I very much consider myself a Slopian. My surname's Minton. There's a town in Shropshire called Minton. I'm pretty sure my ancestors probably have been in Shropshire as long as there's been Shropshire and people in it. And I can't believe that the people of Shropshire and other Slopians are going to allow this to happen. I can't believe that the town of Shrewsbury will allow the Darwin Oak to be felled. I can't quite believe it, to be honest. And so over the next few weeks, I'd like to interview as many people as possible and get takes from both sides. I would quite like to speak to some of the Conservative councillors and maybe even the Conservative MP, speak to them on camera, and let's document it for all of time. Let's make a video so in the future our children can look back on this and they know what your reasonings were for felling the Darwin Oak. You're more than happy to promote yourselves when you need a vote. So now you've made a decision, promote yourselves now. Come out, be interviewed, and tell us why it is essential that you chop down several ancient trees, including the Darwin Oak, and risk polluting a town's borehole for drinking water. So until next time, folks, and until I hear back from the Conservatives, take care. Speak soon.